While the use of commonly accepted terms to describe sexual and gender identities is a fairly recent phenomenon, there is no shortage of evidence of the existence of queer lives in all its forms throughout history. Here are just a few of those lives that shaped our culture and society. Gertrude Ma Rainey was a prolific singer who bridged the gap between vaudeville and the blues. One of the first recorded blues artists, Ma Rainey signed a record deal with Paramount in 1923 and recorded almost 100 records over the next 5 years. Her songs were often about a woman's struggles with heartbreak and depression. She openly sang about her relationships with women as well as men. In her book, Blues Legacies and Black Feminism, Angela Davis said the women in Rainey's songs explicitly celebrate their right to conduct themselves as expansively and even as undesirably as men. Ma Rainey was an inspiration for many artists, including Big Mama Thornton and Janis Joplin. She also served as a mentor for Bessie Smith. Kazimierz Pulaski was a Polish nobleman who was recruited by Benjamin Franklin to join the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. During the Battle of Brandywine, when George Washington was flanked by British troops and at risk of being captured, Pulaski took command of a cavalry and led a counterattack that allowed for Washington to escape. Afterwards, Pulaski was promoted to brigadier general and trained cavalry and infantrymen, eventually forming Pulaski's Legion, which played an integral part in the Revolutionary War. In the 90s, Pulaski's grave was exhumed and a body that presented as female was found, leading researchers to believe that Pulaski's body had been switched from his grave. However, a more recent DNA test confirmed that the body found was Pulaski's, indicating that he was born intersex. An influential figure in the civil rights movement, Bayard Rustin dedicated his life to social change. Rustin co-organized the March on Washington movement and the first Freedom Rides, and served as the executive secretary of the War Resisters League before becoming an advisor to Martin Luther King Jr. As King's advisor, he helped organize the Montgomery bus boycotts, helped form the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and most famously, helped to organize the 1963 March on Washington. However, because of his sexuality, Bayard was forced to take diminished roles in his civil rights efforts, resigning from the SCLC and being forced to take a secondary role in the planning of the March on Washington. Despite these setbacks, Rustin spent the majority of his life advocating for social change. Mary Shelley was an author of many publications, including novels, biographies, travel narratives, and literary criticism. Her most notable work, Frankenstein, is a foundational piece in the science fiction genre and continues to have a large influence 200 years after its publication. She also helped her friends, Isabella Robinson and Walter Sholto Douglas, born Mary Diana Dodds, procure passports to move to Paris and live as man and wife. After the loss of her husband, Shelley wrote of her romantic preference for women in her correspondence with a friend. These histories only begin to scratch the surface of the impact that the LGBTQ+ community has had on our culture. Their influence, as well as the influence of many others, continues to echo throughout the world we live in today. Their stories endure, not just as history, but as proof that visibility matters.